The anti-graft body CIAA has intensified investigations into the alleged corruption during the installation of gold jahari at the temple of Pashupatinath. Earlier, a report by the Auditor General's office had pointed out that about 11 kilograms of gold was found short after the preliminary investigation. The jahari was installed about 2.5 years ago as per the instruction of the then Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. After the fake Bhutanese refugee scam, it could be another back-to-back corruption scandal to rock the nation if preliminary report is substantiated. Good evening, I'm Abhiday Shrestha and these are the headlines of the hour. The corruption watchdog CIAA intensifies probe into the alleged corruption in the installation of golden jahari at the Pashupatinath temple, weighs the amount of gold used. 699 out of the 753 local levels make public their budget for the upcoming fiscal year, prioritize agriculture, education, tourism, and creation of employment opportunities. Wagner Group pulls back from its revolt in Russia following intervention from Belarus. Experts say danger still not averted. And batters from Sri Lanka and Scotland put up a dominating show at the ICC World Cup Global Qualifiers. Scotland and Sri Lanka win their respective matches. Corruption watchdog, the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, or CIAA, has intensified its probe into the alleged corruption during the installation of the golden jahari at the temple of Pashupatinath. The security at the temple premises was beefed up as the entry of devotees into the temple was blocked to carry out the investigation. A team from the CIAA, which had launched an investigation into the alleged corruption for over a year, conducted the weighing of the jahari installed at the temple. Earlier, a report by the Office of the Auditor General had pointed out that some 11 kilograms of gold was missing in the total weight. The weighing today was conducted in the presence of representatives from the Gold and Silver Dealers Association, Department of Geology, and Quality Control Department. Then Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli in January 2020 had directed for the installation of the golden jahari worth 1 billion rupees, while the government had provided 300 million rupees to carry out the directive. The Pashupati Development Trust had added 500 million rupees as the golden jahari weighing 108 kilograms was installed. However, the CIAA initiated the investigation as some foul play was suspected during the installation of the jahari. Meanwhile, the devotees are allowed to enter the temple premises only from tomorrow. Out of the 753 local levels in the country, 699 of them made public their budget for the upcoming fiscal year today. According to the Local Government Operation Act 2017, policies and programs and the budget must be introduced before 10th of Asar as per the Nepali calendar. Most local levels have prioritized agriculture, education, tourism, and creation of employment opportunities. A total of 699 local levels, including 6 metropolises, 11 sub-metropolises, 276 municipalities, and 470 rural municipalities made public their budget today. The largest budget among the local levels was that of Kathmandu Metropolis, amounting to 25.54 billion rupees. The programs brought by the metropolis include establishing a labor bank to develop skills and capacity of youths, running a pharmacy itself to provide medicines at discounted prices, and providing 25 ambulances to various rural municipalities. However, the metropolis has failed to come up with a strong plan to address the perennial problem of waste management. Meanwhile, Lalitpur Metropolis has made public a budget of 6.5 billion rupees today. The budget of the metropolis is centered on having a public toilet in each ward, providing subsidized loans, among others. The Lalitpur Metropolis is also set to announce the introduction of environment police to help in protecting the environment. Likewise, Bharatpur Metropolis, presenting a budget of 6.31 billion rupees today, has prioritized education, agriculture, waste management, and construction of the Gautam Buddha International Cricket Stadium. Meanwhile, Birganj Metropolis made public a budget of 3.21 billion rupees, while Biratnagar Metropolis presented a budget of 3.28 billion rupees. Birganj Metropolis has decreased its budget by 4% in comparison to the last budget, while Biratnagar Metropolis has slashed its budget by 9%. Among the 11 sub-metropolises, Dharan has presented a budget of 1.71 billion rupees, Itari 2.35 billion rupees, Janakpur 2.28 billion rupees, Hetauda 2.6 billion rupees, and Kalaya has made public a budget of 1.53 billion rupees. Meanwhile, Jitpur Simra sub-metropolis has informed that it will present its budget this Saturday. Korai sub-metropolis has made public a budget of 2.15 billion rupees, prioritizing education, health, agriculture and tourism. Presenting a budget of 2.35 billion rupees, Butwal sub-metropolis has given priority to education and health. Likewise, Nepalganj sub-metropolis made public a budget of 1.67 billion rupees. Meanwhile, Dhangadi sub-metropolis has included in its budget plans including making 5 government schools model schools. Discussions on the upcoming budget at the House of Representatives have concluded. With the conclusion of the discussions on the appropriation bill, ministers have started to furnish their responses at the House session to the ministry-wise queries that were raised. At today's meeting, Home Minister Narayan Kaji Shrestha, Forest and Environment Minister Birendra Kumar Mahato, Women, Children and Senior Citizen Minister Surendra Raj Acharya, and Youth and Sports Minister Dik Bahadur Limbu, Communication and Information Technology Minister Rekha Sharma, Fiscal Planning and Transport Minister Prakash Jwala, and Urban Development Minister Sita Gurung gave their replies to the questions raised. Home Minister Shrestha informed the meeting that good governance has been given priority in ministries, police organization, among other government entities. Minister Shrestha also assured that all cases associated with irregularities would be investigated and informed that improving the capacity of the armed force deployed for border security is in the priority of the Home Ministry. He also said that the government is serious towards concluding the peace process and solving the problem related to citizenship. Forest and Environment Minister Birendra Kumar Mahato informed the House meeting that Nepal would soon be self-reliant on timber. Likewise, Communication and Information Technology Minister Rekha Sharma informed that required laws are being formulated for the communication sector to help better manage the sector. Meanwhile, Fiscal Planning and Transport Minister Prakash Jwala clarified that there is no truth involved in the accusation that budget was allocated for only one region. Likewise, Women, Children and Senior Citizen Minister Surendra Raj Acharya informed that priority has been given to develop the ministry as a model of handicap-friendly ministry. The ministry-wise responses are scheduled until this Tuesday. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, what's your take on the trend to interpret party statute to one's favorable condition? 73% voted for A, undemocratic exercise, 21% voted for B, no desire to hand power to next generation, and 6% voted for C, lack of alternative. And here's today's question. What should be done to improve the standard of Nepali football? Your options are A, increase investment, B, prioritize the production of players, and C, adequate preparations. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. In our Public Voice segment, we have asked people in several provinces, why hasn't the government taken initiatives to relocate settlements that are at risk of floods and landslides? Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
सरकारले त्यसको लागि चाहिँ कुनै योजनाहरू केही बनाएको छैन.
सरकारहरू कता निदार बसे हैन भोटमा आउन आहा जित्यो छैन.
बजेटहरू पनि नछुट्याएको हुनाले गर्दाखेरि बस्तीहरू स्थानान्तरण नभइरहेको अवस्था देखिन्छ.
उनीहरूको अब त्यो काम जनताको काम गर्नुभन्दा प्यारो आफ्नो सिट प्यारो हुन्छ, आफ्नो कुर्सी प्यारो हुन्छ.
कुनै ठाउँमा लगेर व्यवस्था गर्नको लागि व्यवस्थित ठाउँ नभएर पनि यो ढिलासुस्ती भएको
व्यक्तिगत योजनालाई प्राथमिकता राख्छ तर जनताको बस्तीको योजनालाई चाहिँ प्राथमिकता राख्दैन.
चारपडी बस्तीहरू धेरै छन् तर सरकारले चासो दिइरहेको छैन.
सरकार गम्भीर नहुनु.
सरकारले अलिकति नटेरेकै हो.
सरकारसँग पैसा छैन भनौं भने हामी महिनापछि कर तिर्छौं. हामी बनी गरेर तिर्छौं हैन.
अब एक मुठा साग बेचेर तिर्छौँ हैन तर अहिले सरकारले हामीलाई हेर्दैन
It's time now for the international update. Head of the Wagner mercenary group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, is to leave Russia for Belarus after calling off his troops' rebellion. Experts say the mutiny was a huge challenge to Russian President Vladimir Putin, whose image of authority is now weakened. Putin had decried Prigozhin's actions as treason in a national television address yesterday. But the Kremlin says Prigozhin and his troops will not be prosecuted. The situation de-escalated as Wagner troops were heading towards the capital, Moscow. Wagner fighters were later filmed leaving the southern city of Rostov-on-Don, a major Russian military post they had taken over. The deal to end the rebellion came from negotiations between Prigozhin and Belarus leader Alexander Lukashenko.
Sports news.
With a crushing defeat against Sri Lanka, Ireland have crashed out of the ICC World Cup global qualifiers. The 3 teams to qualify for the Super 6 have also been finalized from Group B with the exit of Ireland. Sri Lanka posted a victory target of 326 runs against Ireland in today's match as Dimuth Karunaratne scored a century in Sri Lanka's big total. Sri Lanka were sent into bat first at Zimbabwe's King's Sports Club in Bulawayo. Sri Lanka were in early trouble as they lost the wicket of Pathum Nishanka and Kushal Mendis in quick succession. Karunaratne and Sadira Samaravikrama added 168 runs for the 3rd wicket to put Sri Lanka in a comfort zone. Karunaratne scored 103 runs while Samaravikrama scored 82. Dhananjay De Silva scored an unbeaten 42 runs. Mark Adair was the most successful bowler for Ireland with 4 wickets. Chasing 326 runs for victory, Ireland were bowled out for 192 runs in 31 overs as Sri Lanka won the match by 133 runs. Curtis Camper top scored for the Irish side with 39 runs, while Wanindu Hasaranga claimed 5 wickets for Sri Lanka. Along with Sri Lanka, Scotland and Oman are the other 2 teams to qualify for the Super 6 from Group B. In another match, Scotland defeated Oman by 76 runs to register their 3rd consecutive victory in as many matches. In the match played at Bulawayo's Athletics Ground, Scotland put up a dominating batting display. Brandon McMillan top scored for Scotland with 136 runs. He was well supported by skipper Richie Barrington, who contributed 60 runs. Thomas McIntosh also chipped in with 32 runs, while Mark Watt contributed 25 runs. Bilal Khan was the pick of the Oman bowlers with 5 wickets. Scotland were bowled out in the last over for 320 runs. In reply, Oman scored 244 runs for the loss of 9 wickets. Nisham Kushi top scored for Oman with 69 runs. Chris Greaves picked up 5 wickets for Scotland. We now have the latest updates from the SAF Championship. Bangladesh have defeated Maldives 3-1 in today's first match at the SAF Championship. It was Maldives who opened the scoring in the first half as they led after 17 minutes. The goal for Maldives was scored by Hamza Mohamed. However, Bangladesh came back strongly into the match as they scored the equalizer shortly before the first half. The equalizer was scored by Raqib Hussain in the 43rd minute. Bangladesh scored in the 67th minute to take the 2-1 lead. The goal scorer was Tariq Kaji. Bangladesh scored again through Sheikh Morsalini just before the long whistle to seal the match 3-1. In the last group match, Bangladesh take on Bhutan while Maldives play against Lebanon. Meanwhile, Lebanon thumped Bhutan 4-1 in the second match played earlier this evening at the SAF Championship. In the match played at Bangalore's Kantirova Stadium, Lebanon scored in the 10th minute of the match when Mohammad Sadiq scored off a rebound. Lebanon doubled the lead through Ali Alhaz in the 23rd minute. Lebanon scored 2 more goals before the first half to take the match under complete control. In the second half, Bhutan scored a consolation goal to reduce the deficit against Lebanon. And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.